have any idea what happened yet, where this came from? Because it did look like a tweet that would be officially from the SEC.
Yeah, that's right. So it very much did. It was on the SEC's page, as Kaylee mentioned. What actually became clear very quickly is that indeed there was a compromise to this account. There's been this speculation mounting for weeks that the SEC is coming up against this January 10th deadline to approve or disapprove one of these spot Bitcoin ETFs, and everyone has been kind of getting on this. This is the big moment when perhaps crypto and Bitcoin in particular will take a step towards the mainstream. So kind of everyone's on razor's edge, if you will. The markets are certainly paying close attention. Not that Bitcoin doesn't gyrate on its own, but in particular, at this moment, it was very much looking for anything. And then this came through, and we saw a brief pop in Bitcoin, and then quickly came back down to where it was. Now, where we are right now is we're still expecting some type of determination. This week, we've reported that there's going to be some type of commission vote, at least on one of the key filings. And there's also a series of other filings that are coming through. Certainly still a lot of optimism this is going to happen in the industry. But yes, nothing has been approved, the SEC says. Chair Gary Gensler made very clear that this was a compromise of the SEC's official X account, and that's where we are.
And with that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you, another cryptocurrency video. Now, this seems like it's just a dog and pony show. Right now, you're seeing the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission tweet out on their official page saying, today, the SEC grants approval for Bitcoin ETFs for listing on all registered national security exchanges. The approved Bitcoin ETF will be subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection. And shortly thereafter, Gary Gensler came on the SEC's Twitter and says, the SEC governor Twitter account was compromised and the unauthorized tweet was posted. The SEC has not approved this listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. That's shortly thereafter from Gary Gensler. And Jack Dorsey weighs in on this. Jack Dorsey saying, no way this was a hack. So this is like a dog and pony show. You don't know what's happened. This is the second time that this was a fake release of an approved Bitcoin spot ETF. It makes you wonder, how are they going to announce it? Is it going to be an official press conference? What are they going to talk about? Is it going to happen overnight? Right now, at the current time it's recording, Bitcoin is coming in over 46,000 at 46,080. And one thing I want you to pay attention to is this level right here. Bitcoin came up and kissed it perfectly today. And this was a level that we've showed you in previous videos that could be that pre-rally target. Right now, Bitcoin came up and kissed the $48,000 range perfectly and cooled off. This was with that SEC news. Now, are we going to get a cool off before we have a continuation to the upside? Because this level right here is the same level we told you to pay attention to in previous cycles. Bitcoin came perfectly and retested this level right here in the 2019 pre-bull market rally. And is this history repeating, or are we going to get through this level? Tomorrow is a big day because people like Mark Yusko are saying January 10th is when the king is going to be crowned, with Bitcoin getting its ETF. Is this what's in the cards? An update from Immortal Crypto, his thoughts on the Bitcoin ETF. What he sees once the ETF gets approved, whatever date that happens, we're going to have a massive pump after the approval. And he has this peaking out roughly around, where is that at? Close to $97,500 per token, and then going to a 20 to 30% dip. This could be a 20 to 30% dip going into that halving. So keep this in mind. He has this on the hourly chart, so this doesn't show the halving date as far as, in April, but it might not come down this fast, but we could see a massive, massive run up as soon as this gets approved. Take a look at the Bitcoin price chart. What do we see? If we did get that run up like Immortal was talking about, we see that we have this leg 1 right here, leg 2, leg 3. This is the irregular leg 4, and then leg 5 would be that run up that he's talking about towards that $100,000 threshold. Is that what's in the cards? Is that what we're about to see? Looking at total 3 still looks bullish. As you see, we've came up and putting in higher highs and higher lows, and we've had this pullback, when Bitcoin dumped the other day, but right now we're still sitting at macro support levels and still put in higher highs and higher lows. The trend's your friend to the end. Could we get a cool off? Could we wait for this 20 moving average to come up and kiss these candles before we see that run up and rip to the upside? That's definitely could be in the cards, almost up to $500 billion in the total 3 altcoin market cap. And then look at this here. We showed you this the other day, and we've showed you we've came down into this wedge pattern. We've hit our head, and we used support. We respected resistance and support, and then we had this breakout. This was a massive alt rally, and look at, people thought we were coming back to flip resistance to support and have a bump and run pattern, and now we're back in this pattern once again. So could we come back down and get closer to that apex before we have a massive move? If Bitcoin does a run, could the altcoin market have a dump down to lower targets? Could that be what's in the cards? Looks like the RSI is reset on the daily, still putting in higher highs and higher lows. Looking on the weekly, what do we see? The RSI is still in a bullish uptrend. As you see right here, it looks a little bit more crystal clear. Yeah, we had this run up. This was a fake out. We could come back down and then ultimately have this run up to the technical target for this falling wedge is the 0.52 range. Doesn't mean we're going to go up any higher than that. We could actually see that be the cycle peak, but you see that the RSI has that rounding bottom and it's still putting in higher highs and higher lows. So as long as you're just content and hold towards the end of the year, we should see more upwards momentum in the price action. So keep this in mind. And this was the look on everybody's face when we found the SEC was giving fake tweets and then claiming they're hacked. Are we just living in the matrix? What's going on? People were flabbergasted. They really couldn't fathom that the SEC actually did a fake Bitcoin ETF approval announcement the day before the deadline. So what can we anticipate next? What will tomorrow bring? Nobody knows, but just be prepared. And with that, that's all I have for you today. Once again, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. You guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today. And I'm out.